The Nasdaq 100 continued where it left off last week, with price almost sitting at 20k round number target. NVDA shares were the driver, which has been the case for most of the Nasdaq 100's move this week. NVDA rose after State Street said that the chipmaker will likely have more than a 20% weighting in the rebalance of its tech ETF. On Tuesday, the Nasdaq 100 closed at a record high, as NVIDIA rose to top Microsoft as the most valuable public company. US retail sales for May also missed estimates, which strengthened the case for rate cuts helping propel tech stocks higher. Traders returned on Thursday after a public holiday, with the Nasdaq 100 lower after price hit our 20k target from the last video. The Nasdaq 100 fell after NVIDIA had a volatile session, falling sharply after hitting a new all-time high, dragging both the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 lower. The Nasdaq 100 is trading lower today, with NVIDIA falling again. However, the chipmaker is still up nearly 150% year to date, and briefly beating Microsoft as the most valuable company on Tuesday. We can see from this chart how the market is being dictated by NVIDIA right now, with the chipmaker contributing 32% to the S&P 500 year to date. Tech itself accounts for a large proportion of the gains this year, with Goldman's highlighting 5 stocks have accounted for 60% of the year-to-date S&P 500 total return. These 5 stocks have collectively surged by 45% and now comprise 25% of the S&P 500. Analysts have upgraded their EPS forecast on these 5 names, while cutting the other 495 names in the S&P 500. Concentration risks are rising, and traders are in the same names. If momentum changes, these 5 stocks could really see large drawdowns. This weekly flows chart by Bank of America highlights this point, which shows money flowing into tech. In terms of levels to watch into next week, price looks set to finish below the 20k mark. This will remain as upside resistance, whilst downside support is at 19,650 and 19,460, being the upper trend line in red. All major indices have now hit round numbers and pulled back. The Nasdaq hit 20k, the S&P 500 hit 5,500, and the Dow Jones hit 40k before pulling back. Traders have a tendency to take profits when indices hit major milestone numbers, and we're seeing that. This is likely to continue into next week, but the threat of a deeper pullback is subject to downside support levels breaking, which at this moment in time requires the big 5 megacap tech stocks to roll over. Next week we have Q1 US GDP on Thursday, and the Fed's preferred inflation measure PCE on Friday. With that said, thanks for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. And I'll see you at the next one.